Hi, Trojan here. I'm coming to you today on a video on panic options. So you have stuff like Yoshi Flash, or Yoshi Spin, and on the other side you have stuff like AOP with Xiaoyu, or AOP back or Xiaoyu back one, excuse me. There's lots of other panic options like Lily up 3+4, backswing blows, you name it. Long story short, you'll often run into these whenever people are trying to punish you for a button if you're trying to continue pressure, or get out of pressure if you're pressuring them a bit too much. And the easiest way to not get hit with this is to be aware of it. You may still get hit with it, it's the name of the game or whatever, but if you're aware of, where it might happen or why it works, it'll help out a bunch whenever you're playing in the matchups. Quickly, I'm just going to go over Yoshi, and then I'll take a look at Xiaoyu, and then later on in this video I have an example of each character and kind of how you can take advantage of a movement option just by sidestepping or delaying your timing. You can punish, for instance, Yoshi Spin is the example I look at later, but this also works out for stuff like Xiaoyu AOP sidestep, because they still have to commit to an option one way or another, and if you delay your timing you can catch them and punish them for it. You can lab this by setting the computer to react by you pressing a button on them. So you can set the computer to block and then to punish, and then the punishment option would be the option you want to lab against. So in this case, our first punishment option is going to be AOP, and our next option is going to be back one. And I know this video I titled it Yoshi, Flash, and Spin options. But really the core of it is practicing patience and punishment. Okay, so I have the computer set to sidestep, or excuse me, I have the computer set to AOP and to up forward 3. So this is basically gonna beat you if you do a button right after. So when you have your options set, you can go over a couple of different things. You can go over plus frame moves into buttons, or minus moves into buttons. So the unique thing about Yoshi, I keep thinking about Yoshi because he's on screen. The unique thing about Xiaoyu is with her AOP, it's one of the few evasive maneuvers / panic options that not only, sidesteps, but also ducks as well too. So you saw there when I did down forward 1 into down forward 1, she crushes it versus sidestepping it. But if I do while running 3 into down forward 1, she doesn't have enough time to crush it or evade it per se. Okay. And forgive me if that's incorrect, but I'm trying to make a point that not only is she sidestepping, she's also ducking, which makes it that much more evasive. So with stuff like that, for instance, with Yoshi as well too, he's not only sidestepping, because normally if you sidestep, you'll be still close to the opponent. He's also backing up. So he'll sidestep things, but he'll also make them whiff because he's also backing up as well too. So when you're labbing versus Yoshi, you want to find an option that hits further while also having good tracking. I'll show an example with Lily. Lily has a very good option for this. Her 3+4, it hits far enough and it's homing. But something that's universal, let's say if you don't have good moves or you're not comfortable with going for options, you're fearful of like being flashed or something like that. Or maybe you don't have an option that beats Flash, like the fastest option, and also something that is very evasive. And what I mean to say is that this is Xiaoyu's back one. Why did it not come out quickly? Okay, there it is. Xiaoyu's back one's 8 frames. And so because it's so fast, it will often beat a move that would track AOP, which is why it's important to lab versus AOP and back one together, because those are 2 options that can kind of cover the other person's or other move's weakness. And so, let's see here. I can't think of one with Yoshi right now, but that's why it's good to be aware of how you can beat both options by delaying your timing. By just waiting a little bit, like you're able to see like, oh, they did a move, it whiffed, I can punish it. And then vice versa with AOP. You have to still have an option that's low enough because you may not be able to beat it out. Oh, wow. Yeah, like that, for instance. And that's how you're able to lab it. Um, while I'm here, I want to raise awareness on sidestep AOP. So this is like a sidestep into a panic option. And so that might beat your delay, you know, depending on what move you do, you know. They may be able to delay their panic option to beat you delaying your option. So you can still beat this by super delaying or maybe just doing something that's quick enough that would beat the option or, you know, hit slow enough. But long story short, you should lab. Get into the lab, check it out for yourself and see what you can do with it. And then here I'll show an example of Lily and how she's able to track Yoshi's spin.
Get ready for the next battle.
The good thing about it is, well, I guess on both sides, Yoshi's spin, even though it's very quick and very evasive, it still is a move that takes time to complete and start or what have you. So if I'm doing Yoshi spin, oh, that's just 2 spins. I think it's nice to record it with 3 spins, but Yoshi can do like 6 spins, and then on the 6th spin he then falls to the ground, but on the 5th spin he's perfectly fine. So an example of this would be like, oh, okay, cool. Lily still is able to reach and punish this move. There you go. And a good option with this is you're able to kind of sidestep, and you have enough time to like run up while they are still recovering. So if you think they may just do like a poke or something like that, by you sidestepping, you're able to deal with the poke. And then if they did flash or spin, you're able to punish it. That's why it's important to kind of lab more than one option at a time. That way you can get a lot more experience with it. Yeah, so with Yoshi, you would want to sidestep left. That way you're able to sidestep his down forward 1, and I'm going to add flash into the mix. Okay, cool. So down forward 2, even though, you know, I delayed, it's still a very linear move. It doesn't really track very well, and it doesn't really realign very well. Some moves have very good realignment, so I'm able to do like, that was cool. Yeah. If you can get comfortable with side walking, that'll help out a lot, because you can side walk, and when you side walk, it allows you to just do a move that's not... Let me say that a different way. If you sidestep, and you have a sidestep move, the sidestep move will come out. But if you side walk, you won't get the sidestep move, you'll get a regular standing move. So by side walking, you're able to just cancel into a better launcher or whatever. But yeah, that's just a brief explanation. If you take nothing from this, just be aware that there are panic options that are very evasive. They either move sideways or backwards, or they crush, or maybe all at the same time. They may do a bunch of it. So you want to try and find an option that would beat their pressure option if they try and press, or an option that will also find an option that beats their pressure if they just poke you back, and find an option that beats their panic move as well too. That way you can cover your bases if you can. Sometimes you can't cover yourself. Sometimes you have to go for an option that only beats one, and that's okay. You can't always guess right, but by labbing and getting some information on why something works or how your moves work, you're able to punish it a little bit better. Last thing I want to say, with Flash, I know people have, they really don't like the move. They think it's broken, or they think spin's broken. Understand them and it'll help out. Understand the move and it will help you play better, or play versus the move better. So with Flash, it's 6 frames. And to really get hit with Flash, you have to extend your hurt box into the move's hitbox. So stuff like that. It's very active for a long time. Let me see. Oh, not too long, sorry. It's active for 3 frames, but if you get close to it, you'll get hit with it. But you can do stuff like this, and you won't collide with the hitbox of the move. So yeah, get in there, understand the move, ask questions, ask yourself questions, ask other people questions, get in the lab, figure it out. But yeah, without further ado, I'll get into the people's options and how they can just sidestep and press buttons.